Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome one and all to my humble silver pouring bench, coming to you from the United Kingdom on this glorious Sunday afternoon. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys the production of some of the 1 ounce silver foreign bars. I said in my video last week where I showed the 125 completed bars that I would share some of these being made and share some of the trials and tribulations which I go through to manufacture these bars. Before we jump into all that and talk about that though, I just want to remind you about these bars and what they're all about. The links to all of the sales threads and everything that you need to know is down in the description below. But basically these are little 1 ounce ingot investment bars, and they have the Silver Forum logo, the pickaxe there, 1 OZT 2018. These are the second year we've done them, and then a hallmark underneath. Now these are very much in aid of supporting the upkeep costs of the Silver Forum. So sales of these bars, the proceeds of the sales of these bars go towards running the Silver Forum. It is a fantastic place. It's not only my channel sponsor, but it also is a sponsor of numerous other YouTubers, and it's got a phenomenal community, as we've seen this week from the absolutely amazing community-driven spirit of the Numistacker appreciation bars. It's also got a thriving trade section, and we do things like the big giant group orders and the group grading submissions from Numistacker and many other things over on that forum. So if you want to keep the forum going in the way that we've become accustomed to it, because it is free to use at the moment, which is absolutely great, but it's ever growing, and the costs of running a website like that are ever growing. So if you want to keep the Silver Forum going, and you want to support the Silver Forum, and you want to support my hand-poured silver business as well, then please do go over there, check it out. They're in general sale now. You can reserve specific serial numbers if you wish, or you can have just potluck and you can go to my website and buy them directly. But head on over to the Silver Forum and drop me a message on that thread or via the private messaging system if you're interested. Now, before we jump into talking about the bars, I just wanted to give you all a little bit of a behind-the-scenes tour of the silver pouring bench, because I don't do very many videos from the bench, and I wanted to share a little bit. So we very much are a kitchen table business here in the Backyard Bullion household. I did start in the backyard. That was how the name came about, but just sheer volume of manufacturing now and the fact that the weather is not always as clement as it is today means that I've moved kind of permanently to the kitchen table. And I've got this big MDF board which I use as my worktop, so basically bringing the shed indoors. And then I've got my lovely granite block which I've had for, well, ever since I've been doing silver pouring, and hopefully one day it won't break. It's got some nice cracks in it, but you probably recognise it from all of my silver pouring days. And we've also got the silver shot, and that's what we're going to be using today to pour these bars. Now you can see here this pile of rejects. These are the bars which did not come out very well. And I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I really do like to make sure that these bars come out as good as possible. And to that end is why I kind of create a little bit of, I don't know, extra work for myself, you could say, because I pour these by hand. I don't just put 31.1 grams of silver in these graphite crucibles. And that's because if you did that and you poured the exact amount out, you would get some of this, what I call graphite pollution, or I've called it schmutz in the past. You know, it's just this kind of black graphite dust which settles on the top of the silver, and it's not very pretty, and you can get it off. It takes a lot of effort and energy, and often it will sort of you know, erode away the ripples underneath. And I think this is an example. So I had this bar, there was some graphite pollution on it, I cleaned it off, and you can see it's kind of interrupted some of the ripples, and it's just not as pretty as the other pieces. But when you pour it and it comes out nice and clean, it really does look good, and you can get these really, really nice ripple lines. So I do it all by hand. I judge, you know, how far up in the mould the silver is going, and you know, do a bit of muscle memory in there as well. And then obviously after they've poured, I weigh them. If they're within that kind of weight band, which is obviously 31.1 grams, up to, I kind of like to give away no more than 33 grams, so roughly 2 grams of free silver. Then they go into the good pile, and I take them over to the stamping block, and hopefully we're going to get a couple of good bars today, maybe even a couple of bad ones, just to illustrate how much of an issue this can be. Sometimes you can see I've over poured quite a few of these. They've got lips on them. Obviously they're not going to be anywhere near the weight banding. Some of them look pretty good, but they're all around the 35 gram mark, and that's just too much free silver to give away. Some like this end up being perfect weight. I think this one was like 31.2 grams or something, but you know, it's got a bit of a weird edge to it, and I like to be a perfectionist. I want to make sure these bars look really good for you guys over on the Silver Forum. So the silver is heating up, as I said. Hopefully we're going to end up with some bars that we can take over to the stamping block today, and I can show you what I have to do to stamp them, because that's also quite a fun part of this whole process. So hang fire, the silver is heating up as we speak, and I'll be back momentarily. Okay, we're back, and the silver is up to temperature. It's all nice and molten. The mould has been preheated, but I'm going to turn the blowtorch on again so that we can get the ripples on the bar as it cools. That's the signature Backyard Bullion ripple bar look. Now putting my safety gloves on, always wear safety gloves, very important to look after your safety. And here we go, wish me luck on this first bar of the day. Okay, so very pretty looking bar. It's probably going to be overweight from my own estimations. This is just one of the trials and tribulations, and as you can see it's not quite filled the corner of this part of the mould as well, but we'll have a look at it, see what it looks like out of the mould. I'm going to now quench it and then we can weigh it and see where it is. I think that that one is going to be overweight by a smidge. It might not be too much overweight from my own kind of leeway, which I'm looking to have, which is up to 33 and a bit grams. So let's see where we are. 33.8, so I mean that's a little bit too much free silver for me to giving, plus it's got this kind of weird bit in the corner which isn't quite right. So that one is going to go into the reject pile and we're going to remelt it at some point, but now I'm going to go put some more silver in the crucible, get it up to temperature, and we'll see if we can pour a good one. Okay guys, silver's back up to temperature, let's pour another bar and hopefully this time we'll get it nicely in that range. Wish me luck! Okay, this is looking good. It's filled the mould nicely and it looks like it will be bang on the right weight. Hopefully anyway. I've been wrong before and I'll be wrong many times again in the future, no doubt. But there's only one surefire way to find out if this is the right weight. Here we go. Well, would you look at that, 31.65. I wish everything would come out that good, but very lucky indeed. And as you can see, look how clean it is. There's no graphite pollution on that bar whatsoever. So that is a great result. I am going to head over to the stamping block now, and we're going to stamp this bar up nicely with the Silver Forum logo. So hang fire, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay. Now we are at the stamping block. This is this tiny little jeweler's block which I bought off eBay ages ago. Served me very well for a tenner, I have to say. Highly recommend it if you are in the market for something to stamp your silver on. Now, we have the bar that we poured on camera, the nice perfect 1 ounce bar that came out just over 1 ounce. Now you can see that there is actually a tiny bit of graphite schmutz on there, and that happens. You know, it would be a lot worse if I'd poured the entire contents of the crucible out. Now I've found a really cool little solution to get this little graphite pollution off without really damaging the bar too much, and that is just a little bit of malt vinegar and some of the very fine sandpaper which you can find, P7000, and if you just gently rub that area that had the little graphite on, I don't know whether it's the acid in the vinegar or just the sandpaper or the combination of the two, but it comes off and you can see the kind of remains of it in the vinegar there. It's really quite an interesting, cool little tip for you guys out there if you're pouring silver and you've experienced some of this graphite pollution. Easy way to get rid of it. You know, taking sandpaper to silver will do small irreparable damage to it, but at the end of the day it's hardly noticeable, and there we go, we have a really nice clean bar. So we are now going to stamp this with the Silver Forum logo, the 1OZT stamp which I had specially made for these bars, and obviously the 2018, so just need to find my stamp. Here's the Silver Forum logo, really cool stamp to use. Now, one thing I always do is have a look at the bar, because we're going to be stamping a serial number on one side of the bar, and you can see that this side has a little kind of crevice in it, so I think probably this side having the serial number on will be best, and the serial numbers are always going to be on the left hand side of the bar, so we're going to have the bar this way up, and we're going to stamp the Silver Forum logo in the middle of it first. So I've done a few videos from the stamping block before, and stamping is a skill which will come naturally to some. It will come as a learned skill to others. For me, it's very much been a trial and error across the last couple of years of doing this, but basically I've boiled it down to one thing, and that comes down to confidence. So be confident in what you're doing. It's where I want it to be. It's held down really nice and firm. There's going to be some loud noises, but basically just confidently hammer in your stamp. And there you go. So this is a complicated stamp to stamp because it's got a flat surface. You need quite a lot of force to get the mark on the silver. Sometimes it can jump, but if you've got it held down nice and firmly, it will end up being actually a lot easier than you think. Okay, the next thing we're going to put on is the 1OZT. This is a godsend, a life-saving godsend compared with last year, because last year I was doing each character by hand, so I'd have to do 1OZT, 4 individual chops for 1 mark, and it was a nightmare. It took ages, so this is a big time saver. Also, I think it looks a lot more professional, a lot neater on the bar as well. And then we put 2018, so these are the 2018 versions of these silver foreign bars. So we're going to have 2018 stamped on them. I'm hoping that we can keep these going as long as possible, and maybe in 10-20 years time we'll have a very large date run of the silver foreign bars, and that would be a dream come true for me as a humble silver pourer, to have something like that going for so long. So I do really genuinely appreciate all of the support that you guys give to the forum and to these bars. It really does mean the world. So there you go, that is the 1OZT 2018. Now there is there's actually 2 more things that need to be done for this bar before it's all done. First is the hallmark. Now I can't put the hallmarks on, those actually come from the Edinburgh Assay Office, but the last thing that I can do today is put the serial number on it. So I haven't actually serialised any of the bars that I've made so far. I will be stamping all of those on in due course, but I thought because of this one's been poured on camera and it's a little bit of a special one, that we'd actually serialise this one so that you guys knew which one it was, and if you wanted to pick it up, you can. So I'm going to serialise this with a fun serial number, one which is currently available at the moment, and that is bar number. Do it in with a bit of drama. Let's not tell you ahead of time what I'm going to stamp. See if you can guess. Guess in the comments section what serial number I'm going to stamp on this bar. It's a fun one, and it's an easy one as well because I only require 1 stamp. I've kind of given it away now. I'm going to stamp this one, bar number 111. 3 ones. So there you go, that is the first bar which has had its serial number put on it, bar number 111. So if you guys are interested in these bars, if you're interested in this bar in particular, then go over to the Silver Forum, drop me a message. You can even jump over to my website. I've got them listed on there. They're actually a little bit more expensive on my website because I have to pay PayPal fees if you purchase directly through the website. But if you go over to the Silver Forum and get in touch directly, we can sort out a better price. And if you're a member of the Silver Forum, a paid member, there are even bigger discounts available, and that helps support the forum, helps support everything that the forum does to keep all of us alive in the community, to keep the big 1,000-ounce unboxings, to keep the Numistaka group grading submissions, and all of the other wondrous things that the Silver Forum can offer, like the absolutely amazing community spirit. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little afternoon foray onto the silver pouring bench and the stamping block here as well. All I have to say is if you like this video, please put a thumbs up on it and share it around via any social media that you have. That would be very helpful to everything I do here on the Backyard Bullion channel. And otherwise, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you like, share, comment and subscribe for more.